Gil, I want your reaction to what we heard here, some very strong words.
I think, first of all, when we speak about Hamas, I mean, I'm not trying to defend the side of the Arab nations here. I think that the interest is shared to see Hamas gone from Gaza, maybe except of Qatar, we'll put that aside, but I think it's a joint interest of all those countries from their own different interests. But the question is how. The question is
how important is that also?
I think for Egypt specifically, and when we speak in regards to the UAE, I mean, this is a specific obstacle that they see as an obstacle. And they have different versions about how to deal with it. Behind closed doors, for example, the discussion is about the slow process of turning or basically incorporating the military wing of Hamas into the Palestinian security authorities or security organizations. Obviously, it's not an Israeli interest. There are all kinds of discussion. But I won't have to claim here and say that I don't see an Israeli plan to actually get rid of Hamas in the long term. I see very little. You know, the wheels are in motion. Plans are being made, real or failed or more successful, less successful. And I haven't seen even one attempt by the Israeli government to actually show an alternative, to explain how the plan looks from their security interests.
Do you think
right now, specifically, when we speak about the Riviera plan of Trump, the only sides that actually accept it as a serious alternative or a plan is some part of the Trump administration and the Israeli government, against the backdrop of the entire regional actors and Arab world. If we understand that the Arab world is vital in a future framework of rebuilding, with their money, with their support, with whatever, then we have to come to terms that they would not support any kind of solution, let alone allow the space to host those Palestinians in Egypt and other places.
And this is exactly also what I totally agree, and this is what we're hearing from the Gulf. They're yearning for Israeli cooperation, for Israel to extend its hand in humility, in cooperation, and so far that has not happened. They even say the opposite is what they're experiencing.
All right.
And maybe adding another layer to that, we have to understand that reconstruction is not just a physical issue right now. This is going to shape the political conditions in the Middle East for decades to come. Who is going to build? Who's going to be the one benefiting from this? Not just in Gaza, also in Lebanon, in Syria. The ability to cooperate with regional actors in doing that is going to be crucial. The decision of who is going to rebuild South Lebanon, for example, would affect Israeli security for years to come. And the inability, you can refer to it as a criminal diplomatic negligence right now, in presenting any alternative, right or left for that matter, is something that leaves the floor open to all kinds of suggestions as such.
And that's why the discourse is not reconstruction, it should be rehabilitation. That is this more sustainable solution. And for the Gulf countries who are expected to pay for it, the rehabilitation they want to see is Hamas out of the picture, but they need Israel on board for that. And so far they're not seeing that.
All right.